corporate recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a data scientist, and I review non-tech resumes as well, but right now the tech field is terrible in the job market, so most of the resumes that come to me are tech. But for a data scientist, the qualifications are a degree, a Python degree, Python, R, SQL, data in all its forms, so data modeling, data analytics, data, industry, it's going to be a very specific industry qualifications, which I cannot be everywhere, so software or healthcare, I just need to see the industry itself, and it should be okay with maybe a tool. Explaining stuff to non-technical folks, influencing stakeholders, that is critical, and like nobody puts that on. I can't just see you build a dashboard. I need to see specifically how you yourself, and not the tool you built, helped a non-technical person understand the data. Cross-functional, ML ops, Microsoft Office applications, or Google Sheets. Those are interchangeable in today's market. A little bit of AI, Spark, Skibidi-Learn, Pandas, NumPy, and dashboards and data visualization. So, is this a good resume? Well, no, they have 150 to 1, which is how you can tell how good your resume is. For every 50 applications you send, you should be getting a minimum of 1 interview. If you're not, and you're not a visa candidate, because that's a whole different story, something is wrong with your resume. If you are a visa candidate, you want about 1 to 75 to 1 to 100. But if you are sending it in, if you're sending over 100 applications and getting 1 interview for those, it's a bad resume. Again, the goal is 1 to 50. 1 in 50 is the bare minimum you should go with. So this person has 150 plus to 1. So this is a Garbo resume. I'm expecting to find absolutely none of this, or there's some other giant red flag. So let's start the clock. Recruiters only get 20 seconds to find what we need. Otherwise, well, the recruiter that takes longer than that is probably going to get laid off. Fired, not laid off. Laid off is no fault. Fired is fault. So, and go. Okay. Can't use any of this. Education. Okay, good. Then we have, I helped the bakery customer beta. Okay. Deployed a Gen-I RAG SageMaker using internal, enabling the application to scale and cutting customer support tickets. What? Design A/B testing frameworks. Use Scikit. K-means cluster. This is not what I'm looking for. Communicate. Okay, that was it. This was a definite decline. So, first off, formatting. My goodness. Don't use this formatting. I don't know what this formatting is. This is the formatting you should use. It is on my website. The link is below in the link tree. It will help you out. I don't care if, as long as you are a IC role, which is non-manager role, you want this, and even most managers still want this. The only reason you don't want this formatting is if you are a high-level director or you have a lot of like job hoppiness, or contract work. Unless it's those, you want to use this. All right, so that's one. Formatting is very hard to read. The next is, Haley, I hope you are well. I am. I'm nursing a bit of a migraine, but otherwise good. And I want to say thank you for doing this for the community. I'm glad to help out. The ratio of my applications to interview is well over 200. Okay, yeah, definitely garbage resume. I've tried to break in the data industry for over 2 years now. I have been mainly self-taught, and over time my profile has improved a lot, but I'm not getting many interviews. Yeah, self-taught is pretty tough to get in. But you do have a master's in data science, so that should be okay. I absolutely, in 2024, I got 4 interviews. 4 interviews for an entire year is awful. I absolutely blew, which again, that's okay. Like, you're not going to make every interview, right? Like, it's okay. The goal is to get you enough interviews that you can make a mistake on the interviews and still get a job. That is the goal of my techniques. Because, you're not going to nail everything. Sometimes people make mistakes. In 2025, I gave up to burnout for 8 months and got 1 interview. Let's see. I'm looking to break into the finance banking. I am an international student living in the UK. Okay, so I am a primarily US-based recruiter, and while I have gotten people jobs in the UK, not everything fully translates. It should be good enough, but there are some slight tweaks that could be made. Let's see, I might be able to land more interviews for my past mess-ups. I've been practicing. Good for practicing. This time, when the opportunity comes in, I will be well-prepared. But sometimes, even if you're well-prepared, that somebody's just slightly better. Again, you cannot really... You have to go in with the assumption that you're going to get enough interviews that you can make a mistake in some of them and not land all of them. Otherwise, your job search strategy is not good. I just need your advice and help in getting those interviews. That is what I'm here for. I have also always wondered if my freelancing experience might be a deal breaker, and would you recommend removing it? Okay, so, oh boy. There is a lot here. One, I already mentioned formatting. This is a nightmare to read. You do not want it. This is what it should look like. And assuming the qualifications are the same in the EU and the UK as they are in the US, which they're usually mostly similar, you don't show you meet the bare minimum qualifications. Like, where's Python? All the way at the bottom. Okay, that's useless. Where is, let's just say data for anything, data science, blah, 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 data science, that doesn't count, data science, data systems, kind of counts, data pipelines is fine. All right, so that's one thing. How did you explain stuff to non-technical folk? Communicated statistical modeling results, actionable, non-textual for deadlines. You didn't tell me how they worked. You just said I communicated them. You need to tell me the result of that. What do you mean before deadlines? That means nothing. That didn't mean they got the hang of it. In fact, how you wrote this shows that you're not really communicating to non-technical folks, because this is a nightmare to read. Where's your Excel? Right? Where's your Office? Let's see. Excel. Wow, good job spelling that wrong. There it is, all the way at the bottom. Cannot find it. Okay, so I think you need to delete this and start again. I think there's not really anything salvageable in this. And I need you to, instead of starting your sentences like, I help the bakery understand, I want you to give me the how, right? I want you to say, let our bakery, let our stakeholders understand our customers better by creating MS Excel sheets and Python and data analytics and SQL, right? So created a, let's say, let me read, I'm doing this live, so I'm trying to, give me a second to actually think, because there's like nothing here, so I have to just completely pull up what I have to make this as. Okay, here we go. This is more how you should do it. Created a blank, right? Using blankety blank, blankety blank, blankety blank, probably in this case, Excel, Word, SQL, and Python, to help our stakeholders understand their customers better, letting them make better decisions, right? That way it shows that you've used the qualifications we're looking for. That way it shows that you can speak to non-technical people. That's the stuff. But right now, this is written for an audience that does not understand it. In fact, it's been a bit since you graduated. I want you to think back. This goes for everybody that's a master's or even a bachelor's. I want you to think back to some of those deep technical discussions you had with your teachers, with your other students, about proving how good you are at creating the data, of how impressive this data is, about how this data can be done, and how long it took you to make that data. And I want you to take that, and I want you to bundle it up inside, and I want you to throw it away, because nobody cares in the corporate world. They don't care how you got the data. They don't care that you used a testing framework or a PySpark k-means clustering. All they care about is what it's used for. And right now you speak too much about the data, but not what the data is used for. Again, this is kind of okay. Like this is actually, yeah, like my eyes glossed over here, but this part is actually the important part. And stop with all these percentages. That's not impact. Percentages are not impact. Unless you're in sales or a manager, you don't want numbers in your resume not counting dates of employment. Oh boy, there's so much wrong with this. Okay, like this, used PySpark means clustering to improve whatever, but to group customers by spending habit isn't useful, but helping our marketing team create tailored offers is good. So instead of all that, I would say used PySpark X and Y to allow our marketing team to create more tailored marketing documents, increasing our conversions. That is how I want you to write that. That shows what you did, how you did it, and the reason or result. Because right now, you say a lot of keywords, but not a lot of qualifications. And what a keyword is something up here, right? This is what the hiring team is looking for. The manager or the recruiter, right? This is a skill that they need on their team. The problem is a qualification is not a keyword. A qualification contains a keyword, but if you do not show you meet the qualifications, you will not be moved forward. So a qualification is keyword plus how you used it plus the reason or result of you using it, plus where you used it. Not counting education and years of experience. If it does not have all 4 of those, what, how, reason or result, where, it does not count. That is why skills sections don't count. That is why summaries don't count. If you do not have those, it's not a qualification. If you don't have the qualification, I can't move you forward. So you just spat out a bunch of keywords, but I cannot use them because you did not give me the context around them. So this is why you are struggling, and the fact that you are on a visa. If the UK is the same as the US in that regard, that is going to tank your chances. But you need to write this for a different audience and stop with these percentages. That's like the worst thing I've seen people have now. Everybody has these percentages that mean nothing. I don't need a percentage. You can tell me what you did without a percentage, please. Managers do not like the percentages either. My advice is for both the manager and the recruiter. So this was a lot because there was an awful lot wrong with this. But to summarize, your formatting's bad. Your bullet points don't give me context about the qualifications that you've done, and they are missing most of those qualifications. And you're on a visa, which is going to hurt your chances. And you can't affect the visa, unfortunately. But you can change your formatting, you can change your bullet points, and you can add the keywords into and make them qualifications. If you do that, you should have a much, much better chance. So please do that for your sake, because I want you to be employed. And that is all I can do on this resume. I want to thank everybody for watching and liking and commenting and subscribing. I really appreciating it, sharing and reposting my videos. That helps me out a lot. And, you know, if you ever need any more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I want to thank all of my members. You get access to the videos early. How early depends on how many. Usually I'm a couple of days ahead, so you get access to like 2 to 3 weeks worth of videos early for most of it. I want to thank you all for being members, and let's go to the next resume. This is a software engineer intern, and what we need for an intern is pretty the same. Like, seriously, every single intern across multiple industries needs the same things, with the exception of masters and PhD level interns. They need some slightly more specific things. But if you're an intern in general, not just software engineer, here's what we need on your resume. We need your degree. I want to make sure you're still enrolled. I need to see the ability to work well with others and take direction and criticism, and a basic knowledge of whatever industry you're in. For a software engineer, it's just going to be a tech stack, so language, library, SQL, cloud. That's like it. And yeah, that's it. Like, seriously, people overcomplicate interns. Like, they think they need to put all this crazy stuff down, but no, you just got to show that you work well with others so that you can take direction and criticism, and you know, a basic knowledge of it, and you're good. The problem is they overdo it. They don't do a basic knowledge. They show like some advanced expert level stuff, which is not what they're looking for. So with that said, what is this person's ratio? Unknown. So we don't know this ratio, so I don't know if it's a good or a bad one. Although most people that submit to me do have trouble, so it's usually safe to assume that if it appears on this channel, it's a bad resume, unless it's their second, third, or fourth submittal. So 20 seconds on the clock to find that, and go. Okay, this is too long, and formatting is bad. Built an automated data pipeline, analyze customer reviews. Okay, that's nothing. Python is APIs. Okay, what do I need this? Full stack. Okay, React. What's Supa based? Don't need that. It's not Nicki Minaj. Don't care about that. And declined. So again, your formatting is bad. You want to use this formatting, seriously, unless you're high level director, or you have crazy amount, like your job don't make no sense. Contract roles, you want to use this. So you need to use that formatting. The second one is, like, yeah, this should be 3 lines max. You should be able to fit all of this into 3 lines max. Actually, no, you don't need the courses. You should fit into this into 2 lines max using that formatting. Then we go here, and the problem is there's nothing here I need besides Python and API, right? API, good. Python I do need. But at no point is any job description asking you to build a data pipeline to collect and analyze 5,000 customer reviews and surveys, uncovering Gen Z product preferences and informed feature updates. If they're asking for that, you know what they're going to say is, like, can you use Python, SQL, and let's just say Docker? That's it. That's what they're going to be asking. So you overshot what you needed to do. In addition, you did not tell me anywhere here how you can work well with others or take direction and criticism. But let me see what you wrote. Maybe that'll change my mind. Probably won't. But I haven't been able to land any interviews, and I'm a senior now, so I need an internship. Right. You committed a... Okay, so here's something I have found out that a lot of interns do. And I can already see that you did the same thing. This is a very common problem in interns. Is you write your qualifications, remember the difference between keywords and qualifications, in a way that works. You do it well enough to get an internship. But now because you have more experience in that internship, you write your bullet points in a different way because you're trying to impress us instead of stating what you have done, and that leads to failure. Also, what is an extern? I have literally never heard of an extern. That is new to me. And like down here, right? This is actually how I want you to write it. Built an AI-powered real-time stock market platform using Next.js. I don't care about Shade or Better Off, but I do care about MongoDB. But that is how I want you to write it. Like, except for allowing faster refresh and authentication. I don't care about the percentage. Stop adding percentages. I want everybody to be here. Unless you're in sales or you're a high-level manager or a manager, stop putting percentages in your resume. They don't work, they make it worse, and everybody who suggests them is incorrect except for those industries. Please stop. You know how hard it is when every resume has a 13, 12.89, 18, 99.382%? It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing, and nobody likes them. Please stop. Please stop. It'll save you time too. Percentages is not impact. But this is how I would actually like you to write it, right? Built an AI-powered real-time stock market using Python, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Next.js, and SQL, or NoSQL, parentheses, MongoDB, to enable seamless authentication of users, right? That is how I want you to write it. Engineered yeah, there's so many numbers here. So to summarize, stop with the percentages. I need you to just write what you did. And I need it to usually be very simple. I don't need this super base. We're not talking about Nicki Minaj. I don't need Stripe. I do need Fast API and React and RESTful APIs and the basic understanding of the language. That is why if you're applying for a full-time role for front end, you need to put JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. You as an intern need to do the same. In addition, I would like to see at least one or two bullet points total in this resume that shows how you can work well with others and take direction and criticism. Because what is happening is you've tried to write everything like this, and this means nothing. This is closer to how I want you to write it. Again, this right here. And then down here is also how I'd like you to write it, even if your keywords are incorrect. So that is the problem. Also, stop with it. Nothing here matters. You need to put it here. Again, nothing at this point matters. You need to put it in the bullet points. So fix that, fix your sentences, and you shall have a much better time of getting an interview. Because right now, people are reading this, and they're going to be like, why do I care about 5,000 customers? Why do I care about 10,000 data points? I don't. What is Seaborn? I don't know. What is Nicki Minaj's super base? I don't know. I don't care. And they're going to move to the next one, and that includes the hiring managers. So let's go to the next resume. This is a DevOps internship resume. So what we need for a DevOps internship, again, same as the other interns, I need to see your degree, ability to work well with others, and take direction and criticism. But the basic knowledge of DevOps is going to be cloud. I put it later on, but it should have been first. Git, CI/CD, Linux, Unix, SDLC, infrastructure as code, Terraform, Docker, and a backend language. If you have all of that, you should meet enough qualifications to move forward. That is kind of it. Again, it's not a ton. They're not asking you for a ton of stuff. So this person has applied to, we don't know their ratio. Yep, we do not know their ratio either. All right, so in that case, we're reviewing it live. And well, we review all of them live, but I don't know how good this is before we review it. And go. Okay, can't use this. This formatting is awful. Implemented and manage a pipeline using Jenkins. Okay, good, but like why Kubernetes in a list cloud on? Also, this person sent me a JPEG, so please don't send me a JPEG. what is this? There's nothing else I can use. And that's it. Okay. Yeah, that would be a rejection. I'm looking for my first project, internship in DevOps and cloud. So, oh boy. Okay. Yeah, you need to delete this and start again. Not only is this formatting awful and difficult to read, you don't tell me anything really I need besides CI/CD and Docker. And that's it. I need you to delete all of this and redo it. So again, your education needs to be up at the top. I don't think I need this. I don't know why the specialized technician diploma is necessary, but everything else should be up at the top. This is, in fact, a master's level intern, I think. So I need a little bit more, but yeah, I don't see it. Like, here's the thing. This is the most important part of your resume. Why is this the smallest part of your resume? Can't use anything here. Can't use anything here. Can't use this, although I can use the education. I can't use the additional information all at the bottom. Why is the most important part of your resume the smallest part of your resume? This is it. This is what recruiters are looking for. It's this stuff. Same with managers. So it doesn't matter if you put it all here. You need to put it here. So I need you to rewrite it, and I need you to tell me, again, what you did, which you kind of do. You do CI/CD pipelines, how you did it, and the reason or result of you doing it. In fact, I wonder if anybody at home can actually see the biggest error in this is that you are looking for a DevOps cloud role. I don't see any cloud. Where is your cloud? I see AWS way down here, but again, that doesn't count. Where else is AWS or GCP or Azure? I don't see it. If you're going for a cloud role and they don't see any cloud on your resume, they're going to reject you. Hiring managers, not the recruiters, the hiring managers. So I need you to go back to the drawing board. I need you to delete this, redo it, and I want you to tell me how you implemented the cloud. What was the reason and result of doing it? What is the point of performing vulnerability? Did you use Terraform? Did you use infrastructure as code? I don't know. You did not tell me. The context of your bullet points is the most important thing. If you just shove everything into a skills section, everybody will ignore it. That is why skills sections don't count. You need to put it in the bullet points. Next, resume. This is a full stack software engineer in the UK. They stated the UK qualifications are pretty similar to the US ones, so we are going to use the US ones for this. And again, I am a US based recruiter, so I can't always get every country's qualifications list exact. But for the US, at least, what we need is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML for full stack, React or React.js, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, SQL, NoSQL, MongoDB, RESTful API, or REST API, Cloud, CI/CD, Git, a backend language, and a bonus points for all that other good stuff. So, can I find it in 20 seconds? What is this person's ratio? Again, we don't know. We don't know any of these. So, who knows? We're going to find out. And go. Okay, this is not relevant. Built an edtech SaaS platform called Redacted using React, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, and Tailwind CSS. Okay, that's not bad. Marketing with Intern Bedrock. Design and shipped RESTful APIs to handle class management. Yeah, this is solid. Deployed pipelines and GitHub agents. Deployed. Implemented role-based. Okay. There are a few flaws in this, but I think this would pass. So I want to be clear. This is good. This is probably a 1 in 35, maybe a 1 in 50. You did a good job. I'm going to be very nitpicky here. But overall, for everybody at home, good job. It does pass. So, because, yeah, that's all you said was there's overlap. Here is how to fix it. I like what you did here. I would actually put React after CSS. In addition, don't put Tailwind CSS unless they're specifically asking for it. You want to just say CSS, because here's why. If Java is different from JavaScript, which it is, then it's possible that Tailwind CSS is different from CSS. And most of the roles in the US, at least, are asking specifically for CSS, not Tailwind CSS. The rest of this is pretty solid. Although I don't know, you also, let's see, Tell me where teachers and submit work. You actually want to delete this. This you can put in the next sentence. This is too long. You want your bullet points to be 3 lines max, right? So, and the rest of this is kind of not necessary. Then down here, this is really good. I like it. In AI workflows. The problem is, here's like the rule for keywords, right, and qualifications is you only want to use one keyword of the same type per job. And what I mean by that is you mention AWS here, that's 1, here, that's 3, here 4, here 5, here 6. That's too many times. You only need to mention it once, and I like how you mentioned it here, right? That is the best point. But it's okay to mention it here. So you only want one keyword per job, if possible. Sometimes you're forced to put more, right? So 1 AWS per job, but in your projects, you can put AWS as well. Same thing with this. I don't want to see TypeScript here and here and here, but I do want to see TypeScript here and here and here. All right, that is the difference between years of experience. In addition, some of these sentences are too long. Like, this is fine. I don't actually think you need the rest of it. Like, this is all handle class, management, student submissions, and AI grading workflow. That's fine. I don't think you need the rest of these. You could probably delete this and be fine. Automated the build test deploy by setting up CI/CD pipelines, GitHub Actions, TDD flow. I don't need TDD. And you already mentioned AWS, but I do like that you mentioned Git. So again, does this pass? Yes. These are just some small tweaks you can make to your resume to make it easier to read and to give you a higher chance of moving forward. But overall, good job. Recruiter approved. This will still get interviews. Let's go to the next one. This is another intern. So again, same thing, basic knowledge of the tech stack, degree, work with others, criticism, and direction. We know this person's ratio. This is a 1 in 50 in theory. I don't know if that's true or not. They didn't tell me anything about it. Usually they tell me if it's actually 1 in 50. So I don't know if that's a true ratio, but let's review it, which if it is a 1 in 50 usually means there are a lot of stuff that's good, but their formatting is off or there are some critical flaws that make a lot of people reject them. Because again, 1 in 50 is like a C-. So 20 seconds and go. Okay, degree, good. Oh, formatting, all right, designed and implemented a full AI introducing trial. Don't care. AWS, I do care. Mentor for the students academically through one-on-one peer advising. Ooh, love that. Okay, well, you shouldn't have done that part. Engineer and implementing, adjusting, loading data sets into plot. Okay, yeah, I found some of this, which is sort of what I expect. This actually is probably a real 1 in 50, which is they've done a lot of stuff wrong, but they've also done some stuff pretty well. So what they did pretty well is actually this one. I don't care about the numbers in 400, but mentored first-year CS students in academic planning and technically career exploration through one-on-one peer advising shows that you can work well with others. If you've been doing it for that long, that shows you can keep talking with people. It doesn't show necessarily how you can take direction and criticism, but it does show that you can at least work with people. Here, provide detailed feedback on resumes. If your resume looks like this, please don't. Please don't give that feedback. On the assignment, sure, but there's a lot of other flaws in this resume. Then here, formatting is a nightmare. Again, formatting is bad. Other things that are good. Build a scalable AWS pipeline. Good, that's how I want you to write it. The rest of this, no, not really. And here, which I saw out of the corner of my eyes, is close to how I want you to write this. Again, you focus too heavily on the numbers. You bolded too many things. Again, your resume should look like this. And this stuff needs to be here. But the fact that you showed you can work well with others is probably why you're getting a 1 in 50. That is literally how critical that is. So yeah, what I would do is I would go back for some of these sentences. I want you to remove all of these unnecessary numbers with the exception of one-on-one peer advising. That is a useful number and gives good context. And I need you to actually add this stuff to here, right? Do I want Docker? Yes. Do I want Python? Yes. Do I want RESTful APIs? Yes. These are good. The problem is I don't care about UK IPOP. It sounds like IHOP. I don't care about I'm not even going to bother pronouncing that. I don't know what that is. I don't care about render. So yeah, overall, this is probably a 1 in 50 because you show you can work well with others. You do at least show the qualifications in some of them, even if there is a lot of mess. And if someone is able to read through this garbled mess of a resume, they will in fact probably move forward because of what you've put in those sentences. So to fix that and make your ratio even better, I need to see at least one bullet point that shows how you can take direction and criticism. And I want you to put more of the basics, basically, well, everything in these ones, right? Everything here, and put them in here and remove all those numbers with the exception of one-on-one peer advising, and you will go from a 1 in 50 to probably a 1 in 10 or 1 in 15, and that will help you out an awful lot. But you do at least do some things right, even if the formatting is wrong. And when you are coaching people on resumes, please stop with the percentages. It is so bad for everybody. I don't know why candidates think that 12 and 3 and 5 and 150 is impressive. It is not what we are looking for. That is not impact. So that is all I can do for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. I very much appreciate you liking, commenting, and subscribing and sharing it with your friends and family. And I want to thank all of my members who are members to my channel. You get access to videos early. I really do appreciate it. And if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And I will see you all in the next video.